There comes a time in every person's life when it's time to get away. A time to step outside from the norm and breathe in some fresh air. Soak in the sunlight. Bask in the wonder of the great outdoors. Oh, gosh, it's disgusting out here. I'm going inside. It's good to be back inside, where the video games are, and not the evil sunlight and insects of the outdoors. Now let's go ahead and pretend that we're outside by playing this game, Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a new game published by Chucklefish, who brought us the wonderful game Starbound, and was developed by one guy who goes by Concerned Ape. It's a game heavily inspired by the Harvest Moon series, so if you've ever played any of those, you'll basically know what to expect. First thing is first, it's time to create your character. I named my guy Beardy, who will live on Beardington Farm, and I decided his favorite thing is brawn. Once you're done, you're greeted with the scene of your grandfather literally on his deathbed as he hands, or sort of tosses, a sealed envelope to you and tells you not to open it until the day comes when you feel crushed by the burden of modern life and your bright spirit will fade before a growing emptiness. Geez, Gramps, I know you're seconds from the cold grip of death, but try not to bring that in a whole room with you. Speaking of the cold grip of death, I think that's what his hand seems to be mimicking. Fast forward to modern day in the offices of some company called Joja, or Yoya.
It might be a soft J.
I think the more important question is, what is Woody from Toy Story doing here, and why is he licking his lips like that? So anyway, here you are, and lo and behold, the day has come for you to crack open the excessive wax seal that your dying grandfather felt the need to use back when he wrote this letter, and what do you find inside? Well, it turns out that after all this time, your grandfather actually left you the deed to his farm. Afterward, you ride a really slow bus for what must have been ages, and finally arrive in Stardew Valley, where you're greeted by Robin. Hello, you must be Beardy. Wow, okay, what is that supposed to mean? Long story short, this is your new farm, and it is, a bit of a mess, and it's up to you to clean the place up and start life anew. How? By planting and harvesting crops, of course. Luckily for you, when you wake up the next morning, you find a package on your cabin floor left by the mayor, which, now that I think about it, is kinda creepy. But contained within that package is some parsnip seeds. You get some of the typical tools at your disposal: a hoe to break the ground for planting, an axe for cutting down the plague of trees invading your farm, and even a pickaxe for breaking through rocks. I do have a love-hate relationship with the watering can, however. I hate it because once you have a lot of crops to water, you get pretty sick of watering. But I love it because of the sound it makes. Now, while farming is all well and good and basically the central mechanic of Stardew Valley, there really isn't all that much to say about it. I mean, what can you really say about produce anyway? I mean, you grow blueberries. Those are pretty good. And, potatoes. Yay, nutrition. I mean, I guess I can talk about how you can raise animals and milk some of them. There's cows, there's goats. Can we milk a duck? Nope. Of course, ducks don't make milk, they make orange juice. What's most interesting about the game is what goes on aside from the farming. In addition to selling crops as your main source of income, there's also foraging the local plants, mining, selling seashells you find down by the seashore, and, fishing. But we're not going to talk about fishing because the fishing mechanic is evil. I mean, half of the time you fish anyway, you get nothing but trash. The people in this town need to stop littering. Do I need to bring out Awesome Possum again? Because no one wants that.
I'm awesome!
One major aspect in the game, as is the case with Harvest Moon games, is the social aspect. What good would a little town be without townspeople to make you do tedious things for them? But in addition to pointless busy work, you can also befriend the people. And who wouldn't want to befriend this ragtag cast? You got Emo Kid, Super Saiyan, The Undertaker, Big Boss, and of course you also have Mayor Lewis, or as I like to call him, Mayor Luigi. You know, because he wears green and he kinda looks like Luigi. He's certainly an interesting fellow. It gives you some pretty weird stuff to do for him. For example, he misplaces his purple boxer shorts and tasks you with finding them. Lo and behold, you end up finding them in this woman's bedroom. And when you take them to him, he gets real weird. This stays between you and me, got it? Later on, he sends you a letter. I need truffle oil. Don't ask why. And when you bring it to him, all he says is, nice and slick. Great. Thank you. Oh, and how could I forget Linus, the lonely hermit who lives in a tent and is perhaps the kindest NPC in the game. I always go out of my way to send some food his way. And there's a special place in hell for you if you're mean to Linus. In addition to making friends, you can also make out. As in, like, you date someone, and then later you guys make out. That's how it works, right? There's a handful of bachelors and bachelorettes to choose from. I was originally gonna go with Haley because I thought she was cute, but she ended up being kinda rude. So instead, I decided to go after Penny, who's so kind-hearted that she took it upon herself to educate the strangely only 2 children in town. Eventually, I proposed to Haley by buying a shell from an old man on the beach, and 3 days later, we were married. Aww, just like in the movies. How did I win Penny's heart? The same way you win anybody's heart, in the game or in real life. You give them stuff. That's right, the best way to fill those friendship meters is to give people gifts that they'll like. Maple syrup for the duck, a duck egg for Haley, a pomegranate for Leah, some honey for Alex. Oh, hi Penny. I heard that you secretly gave Leah a gift today. Do I have to be suspicious of you? An apple for Penny. See you later, Penny. There's plenty more I can talk about in the game. The community center, the mines, the desert. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave that for you to discover, because while Stardew Valley may not be for everybody, it is an excellent game if you're into that kind of thing. There is plenty to do in this game. Even at the time of recording this, I've logged about 60 hours into the game, and I'm still not done. So come on down to Stardew Valley and get away from the harshness of reality. We promise, life is going to be different from now on. You see the whole bill? You get some of the typical tools at your disposal. I said tools are weird.
Tools?
Tools. You want to get some tools to make a garden? Good?
Okay, I still see the shrubbery.
Get out! Go out!
Pringles.
I've logged about 60 hours into the game, and I'm still not done. But you are. You're done. Want to see more of my stupid face and hear my stupid voice say stupid things about video games? Then go ahead and click on that subscribe button, and also make sure to check out the links to my social networks below.